pause. How did we get here? Well, let me explain. This is the StrikeSMP, a survival multiplayer server where all netherite armor is banned except for one set. This one set of netherite armor grants players custom effects like health boost, strength 3, speed 2, and fire resistance, as well as powerful enchants that are beyond vanilla survival, like prot 5 and more. Since I joined the server a little late, most players were already stacked, so I would have to get geared fast in order to catch up, or even stand a chance against them. So as soon as I logged on, I knew I had to get going fast. I traveled across the plains biome until eventually I spotted a village. There I wanted to set up a villager trading hall where I could turn emeralds into enchantment books, which I could then apply to my armor. But first I'd need to get a bunch of string. See, this is a simple string duper, where if I break this piece of string with shears, then flick the lever, I now have access to infinite string. But how would string become emeralds? Well, with 4 pieces of string, we can craft a piece of wool. And with those pieces of wool, we can trade wool for emeralds with a shepherd. And so, with infinite string, we can have infinite wool and infinite emeralds. And with multiple shepherds, this plan worked perfectly. I was able to get powerful enchants like Power 5, Protection 4, Flame, Mending, Unbreaking 3, and Sharpness 5 within only 30 minutes. Now all I had to do was combine the books. I quickly ran out of levels, so I had to keep going back to the nether to mine quartz in order to get XP. But nonetheless, the plan was working perfectly, and I was about to get my fully maxed out gear. Until this goober, out of nowhere, just happened to stumble and walk around spawn, and somehow traveled straight to my base. And so, my base was compromised. I had to move out quickly, and so I used the nether to travel. After that near-death experience, I finally built a nether portal, and ended up in a snowy village. There, I built an iron farm, a simple one by NX04, and after trading with some more villagers, I finally had good enough gear to be satisfied. But now, it was the time for the server's end fight. Along with competing for the dragon egg and glory, the netherite armor would also be hidden around, scattered in various places in different dimensions across the server. With some allies, I jumped through the portal. It was imperative that we won the end fight, so I started bridging over people to avoid getting knocked off. But we quickly realized that this end fight wasn't really going to be an end fight at all.
Fighting is legal. No!
Our enemies were showing up with hardly anything at all.
He doesn't have fire res. I got him. No.
I got him!
Dang.
Things took an interesting turn though when I decided to duel my own teammate.
Oh my gosh, wait, infinite carding too. It's chaotic. I got him!
And after that, the end fight was ours. We defeated the Ender Dragon and emerged victorious, and so we had an advantage on acquiring the netherite set. While my teammates went to go search across the server, I instead went to go loot end cities. Well, until this happened.
I'm gonna find you.
He always finds out.
Oh my gosh! Did you see that? Oh my gosh! There's no way.
Okay, here.
Ooh, that's an end chip. Sorry.
Once I got on the end chip, I killed the shulker and looted the chests, which had some pretty good valuables.
Oh my gosh, 14 diamonds. That's nuts.
Afterwards, I took the elytra and continued exploring. I kept looting end cities, killing shulkers for their shells, and taking elytras. until I felt satisfied enough and eventually returned home. During this span, Parrot acquired the chest plate, Yoshikaiju got the netherite boots and leggings, and Because got the netherite helmet. We were all pretty stacked, and I was satisfied with all the loot I had gotten, but unfortunately, shortly after, I logged off for a while. So here's a quick recap of what happened. Yoshi gave the netherite boots to Parrot. Then, Yoshi hid the leggings somewhere around spawn, and Oni also happened to find those too. Infinite built this pretty cool structure at spawn. And because of that, Because gave Infinite the netherite helmet. Then, Infinite and Parrot had a great battle. And Infinite tried and held up valiantly, but he was no match for the strength of Oni. And so, Oni had acquired the full netherite set, and some more stuff happened too. But more importantly, realizing the true power of the netherite set, Oni was at the top of my hit list. I couldn't take Oni straight on because I knew he'd destroy me, so I'd have to build a trap, a tunnel, rigged with TNT minecarts, behind a definitely not suspicious ancient debris. So, when Oni happened to walk in this tunnel and see the ancient debris, he couldn't help himself but to mine it. And when he does, well... yikes. Once the trap was in place, all I had to do was lure Oni into it. Unfortunately, he grew suspicious and quickly locked off. I'll just have to disarm the trap and rebuild it later. I couldn't worry about time or anything like that. I just had to be patient. That was the only way this trap would be successful. Oh, he logged back on. Okay, well, I could just put the TNT minecarts back quickly. That's not good. I hope he didn't notice me. I'll just have to get out of here quickly and hope. Later, I went outside to go meet Parrot, but then I saw this. Well, the trap was certainly compromised now, but there was still a way I could salvage this. If I could use the TNT carts against Oni, I could still possibly kill him. Well, that went pretty horribly, but now I was left at spawn, with nothing and no friends left. But I wasn't going to give up that easy. No, I knew I had to get on my feet. I just had to think of a better trap. Something that would actually work this time. But first I needed to head back to my base. So while I'm getting re-geared, why don't we talk about the plan? You see, this is bedrock. And normally, no matter how long you mine it, it will never break. But, with this simple contraption, you can spam place a piston in the corner, and it will break bedrock, revealing a hole underneath. And beneath the bedrock lies the void, an inescapable pit below the overworld that can kill players very quickly. If you try to tank the damage of the void by grappling, it won't work. The damage will catch up to you quickly, and you won't be able to escape. And if your reaction time is slow, you won't be able to elytra up. And so, with that knowledge in mind, I developed a 3-step plan. But first, we need an abundance of obsidian, logs, and TNT. To get the obsidian, I went to a stronghold and built this, a chunk loader, which sends minecarts in and out of the nether, causing Minecraft to permanently load the chunks. Then, some snow golems on top of the end portal, which shot snowballs down at an endermite. Because the chunks were permanently loaded, snowballs would constantly go into the end. When that happens, a 5x5 area and the obsidian platform regenerates around it. And because of that, we can farm obsidian by simply standing there, AFK mining it, and letting hoppers collect it into a chest. So obsidian was complete. Now, it was time for oak logs. And because of a timber plugin, it was really easy to get them anyways. So that was also complete too. And finally, TNT. I built this gunpowder farm, which, by the way, really was not that good, I wouldn't recommend it. But it still worked for the purpose that I needed it for. So after a while of AFKing, I did get enough gunpowder. Once I had enough gunpowder, all I had to do was mine sand, and I had plenty of TNT. And with all that, it was time to dig a hole. Straight down and all the way to bedrock. And although I thought this would be the most tedious part, it was actually the easiest. The next part was getting all the obsidian and placing it up the walls. This was to prevent the trap from breaking or the walls to breaking. You can argue it wasn't really worthwhile, but come on, you can't tell me this doesn't look cool. And finally, it was time to break the bedrock. And after a couple of tries, I got it. And so, here's a montage. I had finally reached the void. This is the part where the trap truly becomes deadly. I had to be very cautious in how I operated now, but nonetheless, I was very proud. The only step now was to place fence gates along the inside of the trap. That was to prevent Oni from putting an elytra on and fire working out. This step was just really tedious, I'm not going to bore you with it. But anyways, it was ready to be used on part Oni. And because he had killed me at spawn earlier and took all my stuff, I was trading my few valuables I had for my shulker boxes.
Oh, I do have some goodies. Hold on. I actually do have 3 wither skulls. Bruh. Hey, listen, I'm dropping. Oh, hey, stop hitting me. Okay, fine. Golly. All I have left really is this ancient debris.
This was it. All that hard work and dedication. It all came down to this. Would I be able to pull it off?